it's always, of course, like on your hardest week where, like, professional,
Hmm.
where your personal life also, like, starts getting twists and turns and, a sprinkle of tomfoolery in it.
Yeah.
It's like that line from Devil Wears Prada. Um, my way. Let me know when your personal life goes up in flames. That's when you know it's time for a promotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in my like, so what's so far my hardest week of the season, just because I had to cover for other coaches. So I was skiing, coaching first chair to last chair, and we've
Hmm.
had a blizzard for the past 3 days. Yeah, bro. Like out there in like 10 to 15 degrees,
Oh,
all the wind in the world, snow coming down. I don't even have time for lunch because I got to switch off groups right at 12. Yeah.
Jesus.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown with the boy prince of freestyle skiing.
Fair. Shit, I ain't gonna
Hey,
argue with you there, sir. I'm not gonna argue with you there, sir.
Um, I get texts from two girls who, like, in the top three of relationships that, and not, I'm not talking boyfriend girlfriend relationships, just
Situationships.
sure, um, that I've biffed,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not even biffed, but just wish that had played out differently.
Right.
I get texts from two of that top three this week.
Ooh.
In the same week, in the same fucking week.
Ooh.
One, it's like two very different situations. One is this, uh, we'll call her Volley because she was a Belgium volley, and she was I think she was at the Olympics. She was a Belgium volleyball player who
Mm-hmm.
moved to the States. Um, and an absolute fox and really fits my type of tall girls who don't have time for me.
We need, one day we're gonna have a conversation about how that does not need to be your thing.
I don't think it needs to be my thing either, but
Okay.
like it still is my thing. Like I wish it weren't so as well. But like and we've talked about this.
Yeah, of course.
It's just this idea of like, oh, you don't want to be in a relationship just because you haven't found out like that you love me yet. Give it some time. We'll
Um,
erode this emotional invulnerability you have. I'm so cute and funny and bubbly.
I just want to be loved.
Yeah, I just want to be loved, and I know you want to be loved too. Because don't we all want to be loved? I think that's what it always comes down to. It's
I
like,
feel like you just singing Mario. You should let me love you. Let me be the one to.
ah, but I think that is what it comes down to. Is like I feel everybody wants to be loved.
To a point,
So
yeah.
why? Maybe why not me is not how I want to approach this,
I was
but
about to say this. That's not sounding great.
but like I feel I can never accept emotional, like I'm just not emotionally available right now as like a reason, because it's like why would you not want love? Like it's the single greatest thing in the world.
For some people fear it because it's a level of vulnerability that they're not comfortable with.
And I
Because you have like,
can't, I really struggle to comprehend that. I really struggle to comprehend not wanting love in your life.
you know what it is? It's a control thing.
Ooh, is it?
Because to allow someone to love you, right, is to also be vulnerable, but also know that you have no control over when it may stop, start. You never have control over it. Like
And
when someone loves you and you're in love, like it can end the next day in the blink of an eye.
they don't want to be surprised.
Right. You don't want to be surprised. If you're a person who likes certain things, like certain controlled things in your life, it's kind of hard to then want to deal with something that's kind of uncontrollable. Like that's another person you have no control over.
But like that's the good shit. That's
For
that
some people,
wallowing, that pain, that kind of that deepens your well of emotional understanding.
perfect
And
example. There's certain people who only like WWE.
I don't know if this is the perfect
But
allegory,
it's
but
one of those
sure, let's
things.
run it.
Like there's some people who love wrestling. They want all types of wrestling, and then there's certain people that want it in a certain way. There's certain people who want certain things. So love is like they want it in a certain way if they can control it. If
They
it's
don't.
put in a certain box, if it's put in a certain look. Put some people aren't cool with it being a bunch of different things. They kind of want it in a way that makes them feel comfortable, and it's
They
in a
don't.
controlled environment that they know.
They don't understand the complications of a round robin tournament.
Something like that.
They couldn't possibly plumb the depth of a point scoring system.
That's pretty much simplistic math, but also shows the complications of the American learning system. Anyway, continue with your story.
So Volley was a hostess at my favorite bar who I got into it with, and we got along great. Like in
Right.
addition to the physical being incredible between us, we got along great. You know, we had similar senses of humor. We both adventurous. We both love to travel. And I always just thought like this could work. It never did. And she was probably a bit cold to me.
The way you said it.
You know, she was cold. Like she didn't like me like hugging her in front of her friends. She didn't like me kissing her in front of her friends or our friends or just at all, like unless we were in private.
So not a PDA person.
Yes, but it's not like I was sticking my tongue down her fucking throat. Like
No, but some people don't like holding hands. Like some people don't even...
Yeah, and yeah, I guess I have to also learn to understand that. But also she was kind of just mean to me a lot. Like treated me poorly. And I don't think she's a mean person.
Yeah.
And you know, I kept coming back for more, so it's probably my fault. But you know, it doesn't work out. I really wished it had. She moves her visa runs out at the end of the winter. She moves away. But then she comes back she comes back in the winter and she fucking that's actually the other one texting me right now.
Gonna live a long life because no rest for the wicked. No rest for the wicked.
And she, you know, and she's back and she fucking texts me this week. And I'm like, why? Like, can't you just leave me alone? And of course, I text her back like an idiot. And my friend even, like, sorry?
Why did you do it?
Because I still believe we can make it work. We don't even live in the same town anymore. We live an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And just want to hit one more time.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I don't take like defeat well. I mean, it's a different story. Like, I haven't texted her, you know, before everybody starts blogging. I haven't texted her. I was like very comfortable. It's like, okay, fine. You go this way, I'll go that way. But she's texting me, and it's not the first time since we separated that she has texted me unsolicited from the moon and the stars. And now she's back. And one more time. One more match. One more match.
No, Jack.
Oh.
Look.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
When's the last time you've heard from this person?
Summer.
Okay. Now before that,
maybe early fall, but whatever. Yeah.
Now before that, what was y'all type of situation?
Like when we were like hooking up or in between?
Hooking up. Was it just like, and I mean this in the nicest way to say this, but was you just like, was you just there to drop off dick and like go up on your way?
No, I understand. Look, I've always been a date person. I don't want to just drop off dick. I'm never gonna schedule a Netflix and chill. I want to go out. I want to have drinks. I want to get eats. I want.
You want to do the whole thing, the whole kid and caboodle.
Yeah. I don't like just Netflixing and chilling. It makes me feel bad, and it's actually one part of me that like of my personal dating life relationship that I'm actually able to stick to. Okay. Probably the only thing where I'm like, I don't like this. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
She wanted kind of only that.
Okay.
We went out a few times. So like it was kind of a hybrid.
How did that make you feel?
The hybrid situation?
Yeah.
I was okay with it because I kept fooling myself into believing that it was gonna evolve into something more.
Gotcha.
And we had like talked about relationship, and she's like, I like you too, but she was talking polyamory, and I'm like, I'm not really into that.
That's tough.
Yeah. And it's not like tough, like I don't take it as an ego blow.
No.
It's your like that's your thing, cool, whatever. But like I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not opening myself up for that.
No, that's fine.
So that never happened, and then I overexposed myself. Right. Like I big dog to myself. I Roman Reigns big dog myself and just on every TV and pay-per-view way too much. And I
basically shot yourself in the foot, didn't you?
Of course I did.
Of course.
Because I'm not good at playing it cool. So it's like if a person asks me, like I've always been very forthright. I'm an extremely honest person. My mom drilled that into me to the point where now she's like, I think I kind of fucked that one up because like now I'll like tell my aunt off because I just can't lie. So family dinners can get really bad.
Understood.
And I that then works into like I can't play it cool, which I think I have to learn how to separate. So if a person if a girl asks me like, "Hey, where are you at?" I'm gonna be like, "Oh, I really like you." And it doesn't have to be like, and I'll also say like, look, we don't have to get into a relationship right now. We don't have to get into a relationship ever, but I do really like you.
You're upfront.
Yeah. I can't beat around the bush. I can't be tedious. I'm just what you see is what you get. And like that's why I love people who are like that. Like even people who are assholes but know they're assholes, I'm totally cool with because it's what you see is what you get.
Our group chat.
Yeah. And I can't, and so that conversation, I'm like, I really like you. I think we get along really well. Like that's undeniable. And the sex is great. Like I don't see any reason here why we shouldn't be in a relationship. That was pretty much verbatim what I said. Also, I did follow with like, if you don't want to, of course, I'm not going to put pressure on you. But that's what I think. That's what I believe.
Right.
It immediately took a downturn after that. Yeah. So that didn't work out, and we split. We were still hooking up like towards the end. And like there was a moment where I was able to. We were sitting. She was house sitting for kind of like a friend's grandma,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a beautiful house. And we were sitting in the hot tub overlooking like the entire Aspen Valley. Like we were
That
skinny,
sounds nice.
yeah, we were skinny dipping in the hot tub looking over the Aspen Valley, and she's on my lap. And I actually was able to get a moment where I actually in the moment I closed my eyes and took a deep breath and said,
Mm-hmm.
"This is okay. It's not going to be anything more. I accept it into my heart. Like I'm never going to be able to develop a deeper relationship with this person,
Damn.
and it's okay." And it's just a moment of growth.
That takes a lot of growth right there.
Yeah.
That's a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
Of course it is. I think it's one of the hardest things, um to just to live in the present, I guess it would be. People work their whole lives. That's all Buddhist monks fucking meditate for. So she texted me this week, and it was still like not totally nice. She told me like I looked like this guy in this movie. She like took a couple pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was the dude from one of the characters from Black Klansman, and she chose one of the most anti-Semitic characters in history to compare to my Jewish ass. And I'm like, I have to shave this mustache. I'm like, this thing needs to fucking go.
One, never seen the movie, but now I'm quite tempted to watch it while I paint.
It's a really good movie.
Hmm.
And then Spike Lee directed it.
Yeah,
And
like
actually,
there's I forgot the other one. It had Chadwick Boseman in it. I have to watch that too.
and actually did keep pretty tight to the origin story, the true story.
But so she texted you that just to start a conversation.
No, I think she was making fun of me. She just wanted me to know because it was in a stark contrast from this other text that I got. But she was really like, we texted for a while. She was very responsive. Like she was answering me quick, but like
Right.
that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
And in reality, we texted for a bit, whatever. When like I started trying to like flirt a little, I was kind of stonewalled. So I was like, all right,
Right.
let me before I fall down again into the mud. Let me just move the fuck on with my life and not try to create something that's not there.
Right.
And then the second girl, you know what? We're gonna call her we're gonna call her PhD. Because I know. No, she was older than me. She's older than me. She was my first 24-hour private. Which here I'll give you a little more skiing insider information here. When you hook up with one of your lessons, it's called a 24-hour private. Because like it's you're going it's a private lesson 24 hours, you're staying the night.
Gotcha. Like the wheels was turning. Like it took a second, but the wheels started turning.
She was out in Mount Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. She's a lawyer. Again, loved to travel. And we were compatible emotionally and personality wise.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason it didn't work out, the exact words she said to me were, I just think we're sexually incompatible. Yeah, suck your teeth on that one. Right? That's stuck in my craw forever.
Hey, Chihuahua.
Right?
That stings. And she was
does.
older than you?
She was older than me. I was 25 at the time, 24, 25. It was right. I had picked up a private with her. So I was actually leaving Double or Nothing in Vegas.
Okay.
With after a fucking like 3 days of debauchery with my non-binary baddie, which is a story I'm saving for Double or Nothing weekend. And I showed up.
I didn't know where to go just now. Like my brain is gone. I'm guessing this is 2022
This is
or 2019.
Yeah, it was no, it was 2022.
Okay. I'm like 2021 was in unless she was in Daly's place in 2021.
Yeah, so then it was 2022, which means I must have been 24.
Jesus
Actually,
Christ,
I can't do the fucking math right now.
You just
25. Let's say 25.
You just made me feel so old just now.
You are old.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. We got together. So I showed up to teach her a private after like I couldn't hold down anything but Gatorade and cigarettes for like after I left Vegas for like 3 days.
You went hard.
Huh?
You went hard in Vegas, didn't you?
Oh, we did Vegas so right. That the day when we get to that story is going to be spectacular.
Double or Nothing weekend. That should be fun.
That's the match you should be looking forward to the most. That's the card that the long-term storytelling everybody should be most excited for.
Yeah.
I see her. I'm all fucked up. She's beautiful right away. Of course. And takes a few weeks, but we get together. She's staying at my place a lot. And we actually got like we were a known entity.
Okay.
Like we never had like the boyfriend girlfriend conversation. But like we were only hooking up with each other and we were spending like most days and nights with each other.
Right.
And then at the end of the summer, I like stayed at her house for like 10 days, which, you know, and she's doing her big girl job, like as an international lawyer, and I'm just enjoying the view from her balcony, reading my book and not doing shit and watching the shadows grow longer because there's no more snow left on the ground for me to do anything.
Part of your soul is like sad, but the other part of you is just like, well, I'm gonna enjoy this for you.
Yes. And I hadn't had that moment of like enjoying in the present yet. This was before volleyball.
Gotcha.
But before PhD hit me with the sexually incompatible line. Yeah. And I honestly thought like this could be my life. Like I could be very happy being taken care of and just coaching.
Hey, I will say something, man.
Yeah.
Respect to her for doing what she wants.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but boy, like, you know, it's good for somebody to be honest, especially in that department.
Of course.
But does it ever feel like getting your nuts stapled?
Yeah. Just grizzling shit.
But
and she texted me this week, and she texted me more on a hey big head, like what's up big head thing, like, and I sent it to a couple like friends of mine, one of who she was there and I when we're gonna have to bleep that when PhD and I
great give me work. Give me
23 minutes 40 seconds.
Oh, Jesus. Now look at me. Now I have to find. This is why we record the days that we record, so that I have time to do edits.
23 minutes 40 seconds. It's gonna be easy for you to find. When PhD and I she was there when PhD and I got together, and so I took a screenshot of the text and I sent it to my coach who had been there, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely a feeler." And then
absolutely
got a second opinion, and I was like, "Oh," and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely a feeler." PhD hit me up with, "Hey, so excited for skiing! Winter's almost here. Just watched like a mogul video, and it got me thinking of you." The nerve of these women, and yet I'm always gonna answer.
Of course you are. Because you're shameless. Yeah.
You know, and fucking A. So we started texting again, and now I'm down this rabbit hole, and she's texting me right now in the morning. We used to walk, like one day I had to give my boots to a kid so that they could ski. And I had to walk, and not I had to walk up and down. And we walked hand in hand together down the mountain as she skied and I walked. And that's the picture. That's like her contact picture for me.
Yeah.
So when PhD texts me, that shit comes up and all the feelings come rushing back. And it sent me down a rabbit hole. I'm in turmoil now.
Now, I could give you the good type of advice in this situation, or I could give you my I like to burn everything down to the ground advice. Now, you have a choice.
Can I get both?
Okay, so the good advice is
I want Devil Deem and Angel Deem like sitting on either shoulder.
So the angel me is to be kind of like conversational but distant.
Okay.
Because
don't like that.
Right. That's why I said that's the angel me, the nice me. Because it'd be like, oh yeah, great to hear from you. Hope everything's well. And like that's just like I'm distant because I'm just like I already know what you did. Like I saw what you did, and for the betterment of myself, it's just best that I just leave it
for my
alone.
own well-being.
Yeah, for my own well-being. It's like I'll be nice to be nice for the sake of nice, but I don't want to give you too much access to me because I already know how you feel and how that made me feel and how that affects me, and it doesn't line up.
Yes.
So that's the nice way of how to play nice with people.
Give me Devil Deem.
First of all,
Sinister of Minister Deem.
The names would have already been deleted. The names would have been changed to like do not answer under any regard. Like the names would have been changed for them.
Okay.
There would have been one that said fuck no, and there would be one that says do not answer.
Well, I think volleyball, I should definitely be like, do not answer.
Right. But also my response to them would have been like, one, who's this? Like, act like I don't know who it is. To one, throw you the fuck.
That's so fucking toxic, bro.
And then two, when they do answer, I would have responded with a gift.
Whoa. Woof.
And the gift would have been what like the one where the guys was like
when he's like sucking his teeth and looking away.
Yeah. Like
I shouldn't have answered volleyball.
Yeah. I think if you know someone's like in that type of personality with you where they're a little bit meaner, you owe it to
her. So fucking hot, bro.
Hot don't make
like a foreign Blake Lively.
That's that. I don't even know who that is.
Is this a white person thing?
I've never heard that name before.
Blake Lively, the actress. Married to Ryan Reynolds.
I don't know his wife.
We're not going down this rabbit
hole. Like you said it, and I'm just like, I know Deadpool. I know who he is. I don't know who his wife is.
I guess we should not. But yes, very, very beautiful.
But look, beauty cannot be the reason why you fall into these traps.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize you had solved the pitfalls of man.
Look,
they've brought down countries, Dean, and I am no stronger than the Prince of Troy.
Look, take it from someone who's been I've been in a relationship going about I'm about to be 4 months away from 5 years. I get it. Sometimes you'll see a pretty young lady, you may be like, oh, she's very pretty. But you know what you got, or you may have dealt with a pretty young lady, and maybe this has not happened to me recently. Before my girlfriend ends up like busting into the wall like Kool-Aid Man. Like choking me out. Someone trying to just hear the door open. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
But Like, people may check the temperature after you stop talking to them. People do that. That's what people do. Men and women all do the temperature
Yeah,
check.
that's fair.
But even if they're pretty, you have to be like, I already seen the side of you that I don't want to deal with.
But there's still that side that I want to be inside of.
Yeah,
So
you have to remember that's attached to a bad person.
she's not a bad person.
A person that does not line up with you.
Fine.
Didn't mean to say bad, but yes, it's
No,
attached
I
to
know,
someone.
I know, I know, I know.
It's attached to
Trying to
someone who
protect.
does not align with you, so it shouldn't be something you give your time to.
Yeah. And what about PhD?
It sounds like y'all ended on friendly terms where y'all can be cordial.
And also, I have evolved sexually, so perhaps we can be compatible now.
I mean, you could always try your luck.
Does she live in the state? No.
I'm going to figure she lives in one of the states on either coast.
Well, she was living in Oregon in
Mhm.
Hood River, because that's where I ski in the summer and snow
Okay.
year round and all that. But she's actually she's one of the few cool van life people I've met in my life.
Mhm.
Um, where she bought it and she has plenty of fucking money, but she bought a shitty van,
Mhm.
built the whole entire thing herself, and like just does it like, no social media, just does her own thing, keeps herself to herself, and lives this really cool life driving around in the van and living in it. And working remotely with her dog. And right now she's in Arizona, which means she could drive to Vail at any time.
Jack, I'm going to tell you the best piece of advice that I've been told. Sometimes you have to be very, very honest and realistic with these things.
That's the honesty part I'm good at. The realistic part,
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad at. I'm very, very bad at
You have to
that.
be realistic with these things. I'm not saying like nothing can happen, but
I know.
but
I for one am always love it when our dating shit goes long and we do the intro like a half hour in.
oh yeah, yeah. You want to do it, or you want me to do it?
You do it.
And welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Romance. I am your co-host, Life of Demon. I am joined here by the ever so romantic human being known as
Jack Simon. I am doing my podcast from bed today because I'm in a lot of pain physically.
Understood.
From a lot of from pretty much like 12-hour days of either skiing or boxing training or boxing training, and I have to go train box right after this. So I'm in bed now, so my back doesn't lock up.
He gotta get his rest in, people. You gotta
That's right.
respect the way that the podcast looks right now. The man gotta get rested.
It's not laziness, it's body preservation.
I'm in the makeshift part of my room that I turned into my little art studio because I am up to my eyeballs in fucking commissions. I still have to do my last touches on the. We have a friend, Vincent, who commissioned me to do a portrait.
Shout out Vinny boy.
Shout out Vinny boy. I have to finish his shit tonight, so I'm doing that. I have to digitally finish a draft. I'm painting this Pokemon skateboard, and I have a fucking 30 by 30 commission. I have to get this done by Christmas.
Damn, that's cool.
Here's
I gotta get you to do one of my boards sometime.
I can do one.
Yeah, or some skis. That could be cool.
I paint shoes and stuff like that. I'll do some ski boots.
Yeah, oh, that would be fucking.
We'll figure that out. But
what's on your heart today?
Oh man, you know what? I don't go to a lot of indie shows like that. Like I like the idea of indie shows, but funny enough, like there's been a few that's close to me, but I always miss out on when they are. But like I'm never that tapped in. Or there's one that's always happening like in the Bronx, and I'm not traveling from Brooklyn to the Bronx. That's too far. But this week
on different subways,
huh?
That's a few subway transfers.
Listen,
You're going through 3 boroughs for some pro wrestling.
like I'm conveniently on the J line in Brooklyn, right? So that's the line that goes through Williamsburg, Bushwick, Queens. Like it goes into Manhattan, but it's still a ride. Like it's a
Yeah.
ride
Oh yeah.
to go. But I found out I'm not far from HOG, House of Glory Wrestling. And I went this past Friday to House of Glory Wrestling to see their show, The Darkest Hour. And man, let me tell you something. I had a fantastic time. Excuse me. My girlfriend just told me her tester oven was on fire. Midway of me saying that, like I kid you not. This was just a text I just got. What the hell? Holy shit! Sorry. Like I look now while talking and I seen the toaster oven was on fire.
I think she should put it out.
She did, but
Oh, well, then we're chilling.
this is live, people. So went to House of Glory Wrestling. Fantastic show. My first time seeing the HOG show in person. Come to find out, it's really like a 30-minute ride into Queens for me. It's like really not that far. Yeah, it's really right there. Like it's so quick. So man, that card had a lot of shit. So they had like a 6-man scramble for number one contendership for the HOG. Like I want to say it's a cruiserweight belt or whatever, like their lightweight belt. And the winner was Gringo Loco. I've never seen Gringo Loco in person. Like I've seen his stuff through
Watching
GCW.
Gringo Loco. I mean, I think he's right where he. It's gonna be minimizing, but whatever. I think he's right where he should be. Like he does a lot of crazy shit really well.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't see him on like I couldn't see him putting a storyline together or putting like a big pay-per-view match together. But he is a ton of fun to watch live.
Yes. Like he was doing some shit. And I met up with my boy Vicente. I met up with his brother there. So his brother would never seen Gringo Loco. And I've seen Gringo Loco through GCW. So and I've seen some of his ROH stuff with like him and Vikingo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just fucking fantastic. And I was just like, this dude can go. And it was a really great match. I think it ended, he did Spanish fly off the top rope with the dude and then did like a pop-up Gonzo bomb. Kind of like similar to what Brody King does, like a pop-up, caught him and did like a Gonzo bomb. And I was just like, that's fucking sickening. The next match had Kevin Blackwood in it. I've never seen Kevin
Blackwood.
I've always seen like clips of him, and I follow him on Twitter. Sorry, I've just never fully paid attention to like seeing all the indie stuff that he does. There's too much indie shit sometimes. So
fair.
I was like, holy shit, this guy is good. He's like really good. And I didn't know how good he was. Like his kicks are good. His mat moving, everything was great. And he lost though. It was a championship match, but he lost. So he lost to the champion of HOG. It was through interference, some bullshit. I'm a little weird with shows like I guess HOG is like they have their own stories and stuff going, but it's kind of weird to see interference and like shit like that during matches like that. It like just took me out of it. But it was a really good match. Like I'm gonna watch more. I'm gonna get more into his work because I was just like sold on him crazy. So there was one thing I have a problem with this show. So they had their women's match, right? I love women's wrestling. Before we get there, I don't want nobody to think I had an issue with the women's match at all. It's what they did.
That's right. Get ahead of the blogs.
So they had their women's champion come out, and she's going to defend her belt against somebody. I don't know either of them. I know that Ultraviolet is a homegrown talent for them, and she's from HOG, trained there because Amazing Red's the trainer for like HOG. I think like he like that. So the person that she was going to come face doesn't come out. Like their music plays for a minute, they don't come out. The referee does the 10 count. The person doesn't answer the 10 count. So then they bring out somebody else, but this person don't really even have like an entrance like that, like a video package, a video entrance, or nothing.
Yeah.
And then they have a match, and it's not really good. Like, it's not clean. It's not really smooth.
Yeah, it's not
like, it's bumpy.
Yeah.
But then they have referee bumps in it. And I'm like, all right, look. We do
already there's too many twists and turns.
Too much. The first girl ain't answer the bell. I don't know who this girl is. They didn't even really say Shorty's name. On top of that, you have.
Oh wait, so you're watching a match with someone you don't even know their name?
No, and I don't even know Ultraviolet.
Yeah, that's not.
It's my first time watching her.
Not good booking.
So I don't even really know Shorty's name because they didn't really announce it. Shorty just ended up like, kind of like coming down. There's a ref bump. A woman referee comes in. It's counting the 1, 2, 3, but then it screws over the girl who I don't know. Like, she does 1, 2, and then flips off the girl, and then helps Ultraviolet win. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett. When you confuse them, you lose them.
And the issue with that is, it was the only women's match on the show. So the only women's match on the show has Carney booking. I'm out. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
Why play with it? Just have a match. Did they ever explain what happened to her original opponent? Yeah, that's some Carney bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to watch the live stream of the show to actually get it, but I don't fucking know. The next match after that, I don't know if you know who Charles Mason or Charles.
I do. I actually really like Charles Mason. Like, we were talking about underrated wrestlers. You don't like him?
I never see one of his matches until.
I mean, that's fine. But like, we talking about underrated wrestlers a few weeks ago. Like, I would say Charles Mason's a very underrated wrestler.
So he's like he was one of their champion wrestlers. He had their belt, their House of Glory Crown Jewel Championship. First of all, the first thing that was annoying to me, just for like in the beginning, I was like, why the fuck is he wrestling in a suit? Like, why is he keeping the suit on?
I mean, this is House of Glory. They had Loki. They're suit people.
But he's like a mix of American Psycho.
Yeah.
Mixed with like 50 Shades of Grey.
Like Charles Manson. That's
right. So that match was crazy. Like, they ended up, because there's no padding on the outside. So they end up doing like a spot where they end up doing a suplex from the apron straight to the floor. And that's just floor. There's no padding. That shit is just straight. Like, when they landed, it's floor. Like, mind you, I'm standing here. Like, I'm on the ground. Like, I can see them. When I heard it, it was a splat. It was like the grossest splat you'll ever hear. And I just screamed out, like everybody just screamed out, oh my fucking God. So then, like, they didn't answer the 10 count for the count out. But then I guess the commissioner, I don't know all House of Glory shit. But the commissioner comes out and he's like, no DQ, no disqualification. This match needs to have a winner. No one paid to see a count out.
Wait, who's he wrestling?
He had this bodyguard dude. I don't even really know him. It's like, I guess if you've been going to House of Glory, like, you really know, like, it's this really tall Puerto Rican bodyguard guy.
Okay, Charles Mason wrestling a bodyguard guy. Got it.
His bodyguard guy.
Okay, yeah.
They was doing chair shots to the head with the folding chairs that they had in the arena.
Unprotected?
Unprotected. I was not prepared, Jack. I was not prepared. They walked into the crowd. He climbs up to like one side of the roof of this goddamn venue. And Charles Mason throws the guy off and then jumps off of the fucking roof onto him into the crowd. Hits him with a chair shot through the crowd in the head. There's thumbtacks brought into this damn thing. There's all types of violence, and I was not prepared. There's one point, I guess his thing is to wrap people's heads in a clear bag and kind of like choke them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he put thumbtacks in it to try and do it to the guy, but the guy did it to him and then caught him with like this
storytelling
gut wrench pile driver onto the tacks.
Oof.
And he won, and Charles Mason lost. But it was It was a brutal match. The crowd was crazy for it. I think I have it recorded. But then the next match is supposed to be Swerve versus Mike Bailey, and I was like, wait, you can't go crazy hardcore and then give us.
Yeah, I love that shit. I love.
But what they did was they gave us like a 20-minute intermission.
Ooh, I love a wrestling show with an intermission.
So then when we came back, Mike Bailey comes out, and I'm like, all right, it's what I'm here for, baby. It's what I'm here for. I found the footage of it. There is footage of me standing on top of a couch doing the Prince Nana dance as Prince Nana.
Beautiful.
So you just see me in the corner, just.
And I swerve when I drive.
But when I tell you the atmosphere when Swerve came out, there is a presence and like an aura with him that is just like, oh no, this man's a star. Like this man, like I see people all the time, like, oh, I don't know if superstars, but he's a star.
Yeah,
it's crazy
at this point.
Yeah, and it's crazy because everybody's going crazy with the singing the song or dancing, and he's just calmly just walking like, yeah, this is what I expected. Like this is just what I expected.
It's always seemed so inevitable with Swerve. My dad's favorite wrestler, actually. My dad, who's very much not a wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. But when I had my WrestleMania weekend, I took him to one of the indie shows, mm-hmm. and he saw Swerve, and he loved Swerve.
Bro, he is.
Which, if you can speak to like someone who doesn't give a shit about professional wrestling, to where like my dad to this day will ask about him, you got something going on.
Mm-hmm. Him and Mike Bailey had a fucking match. Mm-hmm. My respect for Mike Bailey grew tenfold. Like I already thought Mike Bailey, yeah, he's one of the best wrestlers. First of all, anybody who wrestles Mike Bailey, may God be with you. Those kicks sound so fucking gross in person.
Just thunk, thud,
slaps. Like sweat was coming off of Swerve, like with every kick. Like, it wasn't like just like no, it was nasty. The Weapon X move, like that jumping backflip knee press that he does. I don't know how you like. This is why I'm not a wrestler. I don't know how you take that and you don't fight him later. Like I'm beating your ass when we get to this match. He did it to Swerve's chest, and he did it to his back on the side of the apron.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy,
I'm fucking you up. Like there's no question. But Swerve won. It was an amazing match. Grizzled Young Vets had a tag team title match.
Oh, that's cool.
That one, it's not that I'm not crazy about Grizzled Young Vets. I do really like them. I wasn't crazy about the team that's tag team champions main event. I think I have to get more into them before I can really judge that match.
Yeah.
Because the match ended with a roll up. And I'm just like, and the champs retained. But I get it, you know. But they did challenge Ace Austin and Chris Bay for the next House of Glory show. And I'm like,
I really like
and they announced Josh Alexander's at the next House of Glory show. House of Glory show. So I'm like, might have to make a pop-up.
Yeah, you should.
And the last match was Matt Cardona versus Mike Santana. It's nothing with Mike Santana. It's just Matt Cardona. It just
No, this indie run has been great.
You know what it is? Like, yeah, it is, but it's just like it's not
I think I have a lot of respect too that like he bet on himself. And like when he went to AEW and then it didn't work out, like after a 3-week run and it came out that was because he saw himself on a championship level and like everybody laughed at him. And then he went on this crazy indie belt collector run. Like that, I think is really, really, really cool. And
yeah, for sure.
Builds a lot of respect and support from me.
I respect that. I'm just saying, for me, it's just not my cup. It's just not for me. Like I respect it. Like I respect it, but it's just like I've just never been crazy about his style. Like I'm an in-ring person.
Sure.
And Matt Cardona's just never really done it for me in-ring, which is fair. So, but I was happy to see Santana win in New York. All the Puerto Ricans that was in the crowd, that was a dope moment. So
was it a
House
good
of
match?
Glory. It was a good match. He does this toy spot, I guess, where he pulls out toys from a bag and like he tries to like.
Well, you know, that's his gimmick.
Yeah, so he got power bombed onto that, and that's how he lost, I think.
Storytelling.
Yeah. So it was good. It was a good show. If you're in New York and you have the chance to go to a House of Glory show. The next show's January 6th, I think. Yeah, January 6th. And right now they have Josh Alexander announced, and right now the challenge is out there for Austin Ace and Chris Bay.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what like the one bummer about living in the mountains is I just can't see indie shows anymore. I should go stop in Denver sometimes, but it's like it's usually on the weekends, and I got work on the weekends. So what are you gonna do?
Understood.
Yeah.
What's on your heart?
You know, I'm gonna save it and because we got a big fucking tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what happened, folks? Let me tell you, Jack's story was amazing, but sometimes these stories we
I'd rather tell my stories than and I want to leave enough time. So we got excuse me, remind me his name again. You went to the show with him. He booked his own tournament.
Oh, is that went to show him? Went with his brother. So my friend.
Excuse me, Vicente booked his own World Cup and challenged us to do more. And we got a couple other challenges to do more. So we did do our full 16 professional wrestler World Cup tournament. Current wrestlers only.